Hello and welcome to the Stanley Parable. And I already messed up because I forgot to put on the record. Anyway, the point is the game was talking about what time it is and what time is even to begin with, and pretty much saying that people don't know anything. So, yeah. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all of the game's setting to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. And now the job is over. There's no information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can, and I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I know, it's muffin time. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There is still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. Okay, just to be sure. I don't want to mess up like I did last time, so let's see if it's actually recording. Well, with the sound. I'm hearing the sound here. So, is it recording? I'm so scared. I need to know. I'm sorry. I'm truly am. Mainly because I don't want to mess up again like I did last time. Okay, yes, I think it's recording this time. Good. Let's begin the game and start the Stanley Parable 2! Let's see what the new intro will be.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company
balloons.
in a big building where he
Cool.
was employee number 427.
Wait, is that the only change?
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on it.
Just like in last game.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every
This is the
day,
exact same intro
every
from the
month,
last
from
game.
every year.
What gives?
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders had made,
Okay,
as though he had been made exactly for this
because he was.
reason. And Stanley was happy.
Good. Well, game's over.
And then one day, something very peculiar
The Stanley Parable
something that would
2!
never change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Wow.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour.
Oh
when
my
he
gosh.
realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him
Oh
to
no.
follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say,
Okay, seriously,
"Hi."
this is the exact same
Never
plot.
in all his years at the company
Oh, well.
had this happened. This complete isolation.
It's complete
Something was very clearly
isolation.
Shocked, frozen
Okay.
solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were
Happy
gone.
12th
What did it mean?
birthday,
Stanley
Stepniece.
decided to go to the meeting room.
Okay, are
Perhaps he had
stepnieces
simply
even a
missed
thing?
memo.
I mean, I know about stepchildren and step-parents, but step-nieces? How does it work? Oh well.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Nor any changes in this game. Oh wait, is that the bucket? Okay.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Okay, I guess I have a bucket now. And it's 416 now, instead of new content. Huh. Ba-ba-da-ba-do.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
You know what? Since it's the sequel of the last game, let's do exactly the same as the last game. Do-do-do-do-do.
This was not the correct way to the meeting
Yeah,
room,
no, you're
but
stupid.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It was simply
And
the
here it
place
was.
to
Had the
be.
bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was.
Ooh.
How insightful the bucket turned out
Yes, your
to be.
awesome bucket. It's my awesome bucket, baby.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Stupid
Stanley
bucket.
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
What was the first ending I did? Was it the video game ending? I guess it was. Oh well.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere
Oh my
else.
God,
The
my
cargo
bucket is
lift, yes.
talking.
Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Go to the cargo lift. Go to the cargo lift. Ooh, a Stanley a Stanley amiibo kinda collectible. Stanley, collectible for me. Hey, Stanley, collectible for me. Do 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 do.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley
Oh,
figurines.
yeah.
Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a
Oh,
job
yeah.
well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you
It
to
was
savor
awesome.
each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Also, kinda weird how the one in the presentation was apparently canon. I mean, I thought it was just a presentation, but oh well. Well, let's get this ending, since it's the only one we can get. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh hey, it's a tape ending. Let's see. Play.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket,
What are you talking about,
the
mate?
less sense
Could it be
anything
the
makes.
buckets? Or maybe the narrator?
Sheer euphoria.
Or is it aliens?
Every time I pick it up.
Tell me what it
How
is.
many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling.
Ooh.
And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down.
Ooh.
It doesn't make
I
sense.
know, right?
There's no explanation for
What
it.
are we talking about?
I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in
It's
my
the
arms.
bucket.
Why everything feels so...
Nice. Horrible.
What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Ooh, he's going to sell the bucket.
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
Ooh.
This is my golden ticket.
Yes, let's sell
I have to
it.
be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back.
Ooh.
Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me.
He's dead.
What's that? Who's there?
That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good at all. Also, sorry for being too close to the mic. I was very intrigued in that story. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
figurine
Perhaps
find
he
this
had simply
committee.
missed a memo.
But first I want my bucket. Even though it's kind of creepy now that I know about the story.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over
Actually,
him.
you just threw it away with that whole tape ending thing. Huh. Oh, right. I was going to the video game ending.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to
It
be.
was.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be
Yes.
correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
bucket knows everything.
Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Yes. Oh well.
No, never mind. The bucket
How
was
dare
gone.
you, Bucket?
Stanley took
How
the door
dare
open
you?
to go back to the meeting room.
Okay, let's go.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo
Okay.
lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you
Got
to
it,
do.
Bucket.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious
Actually,
fact.
I kinda
He
did.
was firmly convinced
Bye.
that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Do 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 do.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there.
Oh.
It says, no buckets past this
Well,
point."
that sucks.
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a
No,
bucket?
it's more like I don't care
Suppose
about the
that would
rules.
explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it.
So,
This misunderstanding
what are we
could
gonna
have
do?
dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
Okay.
So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
It's bucket time. It's bucket time. Ooh. Are we in the game show? Awesome. Do do do
Now
do
then,
do do do
I'm
do
going to run
do.
you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Is it a bucket or is it a
This should tell us
jacket?
everything
I
we'll ever
need to know.
about what is or is not a bucket. Okay. let's
Everyone's
begin.
happy. Everyone's happy for the Is
Item
this a
one.
bucket
Is this
show?
a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual.
How was I supposed to know that? Oh well.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Once again, how was I supposed to know that? Okay.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Seriously? It seriously looked the same as all the other buckets, but oh well.
Item 4. Is this a
Yes.
bucket? What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw
I
it
don't
up?
know, you're screwing up, Logic.
Incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Okay, so are we going to be sane now?
Is this a bucket?
No. But of course you're gonna say yes. You got square logic.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
See, I told ya! You make no sense. And this is coming from a gnome.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Yes. Oh, finally I got something
question.
correct.
Both. Gotcha.
Wait, it's both? How does it even work? Ah, seriously.
Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
Yes, it's a bucket.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a
Yes.
bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something.
Nothing
and
is a
therefore
bucket.
nothing could possibly
Nothing
be
is a
something.
bucket.
Unless, in your
Nothing is
twisted
a
mind,
bucket.
have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a
Yes.
bucket?
Nothing is a bucket.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort
Hey, you
it out.
started the
I've
messed
lost
up
all
logic.
sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago, I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am
Yes.
I a bucket?
I am a bucket too.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
Bye, bucket.
Okay, here we go.
Seriously, the logic of this guy is weird. And coming from me is kinda
What
weird.
happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Everything's a
Every single thing
bucket.
in the game was a bucket.
Everything's
My
a
God,
bucket
I had
when
no
you're
idea.
part of a
How
team.
could-
Everything's a
except me.
bucket.
I'm not a bucket
In
after all. And you,
2019.
Stanley, you're still
Even though it's
here.
2023.
You're not a bucket either.
Well, oh well.
Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets.
Yay, we're in the buckets.
Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now.
Yes.
It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets.
Okay.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention
Okay.
that. Who knows what that information might do to a
Yes.
person.
People
All right,
really love
here we
buckets.
go.
Especially humans. They carry those things 24 hours a day. Don't know what's up with that, but oh
All
well.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Do-do-do.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Remember, kids, drinking water is important.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Whee!
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
Ooh.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky
I know,
narrator.
right?
At last, out here in the white void, we are alone.
Yes.
Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent
Who are you,
humans,
buckets?
and the bucket's own
Who are
complicity
you?
therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger. Of hope and redemption.
are you,
and
buckets?
its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to
You're a
itself.
great hero,
Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for
I
Stanley.
have no idea what.
What are you talking about?
He
Yeah.
screamed.
You're a
I know,
bucket.
right?
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasure
Oh,
vaults.
crap.
I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications
Oh,
of...
no.
No!
Stanley screamed
Oh,
even
no.
louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket!
Am I gonna be a bucket
This
next?
is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
Uh-oh. Am I fighting the bucket now? Am I gonna be a bucket?
My God, Stanley, You did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of
I know.
and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise,
Did I?
we would have easily been overwhelmed by the
Wait.
bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery.
Did I miss an
today.
RPG plot?
Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside.
Okay. I know there was a tape talking about that wizard thingy, but I still feel like I missed a lot of RPG plot.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Huh.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms...
I have no idea what's going on. I'm not gonna lie. You know what? Let's go for something
Stanley
sane.
clutched the bucket tightly to his
And once
chest
again,
and entered the door on his
this
own.
coming from me is weird. There will be a reward for finding them all. Warehouse access plan. Produce one plan to allow use of access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from warehouse floor. Construct new structurally sound bridge. Oh boy. Well, time to search for it, I guess. But first, this one. It's the broom closet time.
Can you
Yes.
feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day.
Yes.
This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
But it won't.
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet
The
is
bucket
putting
is
on
my
your shoulders right
precious!
now, but you have to be strong.
Did you know
This
that?
is your bucket. This is your
Did you
companion
know that the
and
bucket is my
lifelong friend.
precious? Because it's my precious.
We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has
I
sunk
know,
that it
right?
has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a
I
variety
know,
of reasons,
right?
But even this is worse than I had imagined.
It's my precious.
Wait. Now the broom closet
It's
has the gold.
all belong to
The
me.
bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even
No,
partially
this
enticing
bucket is
manner?
my precious.
Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional
Yes,
landscape of your
I will
feelings
tell.
for the bucket.
I will
As they
tell them my
changed and
life
evolved
story
over
with the
years.
bucket.
Let him have it.
It was there when I was a baby. It was there when I got to kindergarten.
I've got you something
It
which I
was
think will
there
help
when
settle this
I
debate once
went
and
to
for all.
school.
Here we go.
Yes, this bucket
There.
has always
Now it's
been
settled.
cool.
No more debate. No more
I
discussion.
even went
Take a
with
hike
it to
through
high
closet with all
school.
your meandering
But the
philosophical
bullies
diatribes
thought
about the
I
nature of
was a
cleaning supplies
fool.
and their relationship to
Oh,
broom
this
closets and the
bucket
natural order of
is
things.
so precious to me. Even if I had a hard time getting a lady.
All right, I've got a second
Oh,
sticker back here, and I'm
this
going to slap it on as well
bucket,
because I
he
think
been my
it's
mate.
appropriate. You see,
Even though
I
it
feel that
prevented
works
me from
because the sticker is
getting
also
laid.
a
Oh,
bucket.
this bucket,
That way,
he's
if
my
you're ever
best
unsure whether the
friend.
thing you're holding is a
We
bucket or
even
not, you can look
started
down
a
at the sticker and say
band.
to yourself,
Oh, oh, oh,
it's a
bucket.
There really
I
is a
love
wide variety
you.
of applications for this sticker.
And you love me too. I know it's been mainly platonic.
You know what? I could take
But
the name calling
still,
and the
it's
dismissal of your kinship with the
something
bucket,
that
but now
rhymes
the broom
with
closet is just giving
atomic.
us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the
Hey,
pet
I've never
counter
been the best
status.
songwriter,
Stanley
so...
and the bucket walked upstairs to
Do
the boss's
do
office.
do. Hey, a collectible. Do
Another nature Stanley figurine. Listen, you know, there really must be a snappier
Oh,
name for
it's
these
my
things. What about
precious.
mini Stan.
I would go for
Stanley
Stamibo.
things. What about Stanlerines? Yes.
No, I
think
go
like
for
that.
Stamibo.
Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Stamibo. Oh, yes, it's my precious bucket. I really
Stanley
love
just
this
couldn't
for
do
my
it.
whole
He considered the
life.
possibility of facing his
Oh,
boss,
I
admitting he had
love
left
this
his post during work hours.
bucket.
He might be fired for
And
that. in such a
everyone,
competitive
everyone
economy,
who
why
hates
had he
me
taken
for
that
it
risk?
can suck
All because he believed
it.
everyone had
Oh,
vanished.
yes,
His boss
I
would think he
love
was
this
crazy. And then
bucket.
something occurred to Stanley. Maybe.
And
he
people
thought to
who
himself,
don't get
maybe
it can
I am
suck
crazy.
it.
He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I
Oh.
crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom.
I know,
for me
right?
In difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket.
No.
How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
No.
This is all terribly
This is my
wrong.
bucket.
Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what
Hey,
sorts
where
of
did his
bizarre
bucket go?
hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his
No! Where's my bucket?
No.
He was my best
bucket,
friend.
which was, of course, very odd.
Where's the
Now he felt
bucket?
himself floating off the ground.
I can fly. But where's my bucket?
Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must
Where's my
find it.
bucket?
Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
My precious bucket.
Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
No bucket!
Could it truly be?
No.
He rushed forward from room to room,
Which
passing
bucket
by
could it
one
possibly
bucket after the
be?
next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
No! I need my bucket!
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was
Bucket.
the only way to truly restore his
Bucket.
sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his
No!
tracks.
Where's
He
my
knew where the
bucket?
voice of the bucket had been coming from.
No!
The real bucket was inside.
No way!
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony. And blackened. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Is she a bucket?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
I thought that
Right
was a
away,
bucket.
She knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket.
I know.
Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video
I
game.
know, right?
It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even
Yeah, if only I had my
he'd forgotten
bucket.
his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Okay, apparently that wasn't sane, so... yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Maybe
memo.
I'm just
Stanley
going
picked
insane.
up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again. Not truly alone. Not with the
Yes,
bucket
the bucket is my best buddy. Did the road change? Huh. Yeah, it has definitely changed. Weird, but oh well.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
The bucket is stupid.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
The bucket is such a dummy.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Okay.
The cargo lift, yes. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Yeah, I'm no longer asking for any logic. This game has gone completely
Go
insane.
into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home.
Okay.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
Did my house
Once upon a
change?
time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend.
Uh-huh.
And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Pressing buttons is fun. What am I doing with my life? Okay. The bash page. Oh, is that like the golden pages that we used to have? Cool. Cool. The golden page instead of the badge page. Anyway. Nice magazine. I can read that. Nice TV. Nice closet. Hello, bucket. Jazz music. Hello, bucket. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press Y to take me to work with you. Okay.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders.
It doesn't?
Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Hi, bucket. Press up D-pad to take me back home with you. Okay.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can
know,
convince
right?
him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Press down, Pete. Down to go back. Oh, wait. I did it in a girl voice. Oh, yeah. Press D-pad down to go back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear
No.
me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything
Then what
else.
was all the random crap you showed me before? Don't listen to the loud man. Press A for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the
Yes,
bucket.
it's my precious.
Yes, once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened
No, I
to.
didn't.
Now all he cares about is this awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Where's my Bucky? Hello, Bucky. Press B to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Oh, Bucket.
Sad. I suppose he doesn't need me
I
anymore.
love you so
From now on,
much.
he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold,
Hi,
empty
cutie.
bucket, this sort of shiny bucket.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press B to go back home. Oh, Bucket,
Yes, I suppose
I
on
love
closer
you so
inspection,
much.
But it doesn't quite look like your average
I
hardware
love
store
you,
bucket.
Bucket.
It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid.
Yes.
Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Yes. Press B to relieve. Sorry. I'm sorry. Press. Okay, once again. Press B to relieve. Press B to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
It's my
Why do I feel
bucket.
some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Bucket, bucket, bucket. Press X to go to work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having
Hey,
feelings.
piss off. It's my bucket.
No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has
The bucket
to say.
is my
Do
precious.
anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket.
No, it's
Less
mine.
confusing.
It's
Yes.
all
The
mine.
bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
It's my bucket.
Stanley, give me
No.
the bucket. Give it
No.
to me. Give me the bucket,
No.
Stanley. I need it.
It's my
Give it to me
bucket.
now. Give it
Mine.
or I'll...
Go back to work, Stanley. Okay.
Stanley decided to go
So
to the
that
meeting
happened.
room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others. So the thought of total solitude was terrifying.
That is
to
true.
him. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another
It's
thrilling
another
adventure
beautiful, wondrous day with Stanley and the bucket. Yes,
together.
Stanley and the bucket.
tightly to his chest and
Oh,
entered
Stanley
door
and the
of
bucket, they are happy together. Yes, Stanley and the bucket. Oh, they're Stanley and the bucket. Yes, they are the very best friends. Yes, Stanley and the bucket, Stanley and the bucket. Everyone else can peep it. Do 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 do.
Coming to a
Stanley
staircase, Stanley
and the
walked
bucket,
upstairs
they're
to
the
boss's
bestest
office.
friends. Oh, the Stanley and the bucket, the best friends you ever seen. Oh, a collectible.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley
Stanmeebo.
figurines. And now I'm torn between Stanlerines and
No,
Figures. What do you
it's
think, Stanley?
Stanmeebo.
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go
Yes,
up
it
by
was
one?
beautiful.
Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
It's Stanmeebo. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Wait, didn't I read that before? Then again, it was probably in crappy audio, so... Here you go. A remake. I guess. Oh, Stanley and the bucket. Yes, they are very best friends. Oh, they're Stanley and the bucket. Yes, they are the very best friends. Bam 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 bam. Bucket. Bam 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 bam. Bucket. Bam 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 bam. Bucket. Bam 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 bam. This is still the same, isn't it? Bam 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 bam. Yes, the bucket doesn't change this, so I guess I'm going out right now. Bye bye bye. Well, I'm gone now. Okay, so that was quite disappointing, but yeah. Come on now. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Bye, 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 bye. Stanley and the bucket are finally alone. Stanley and the bucket, yes, they are finally alone. Trust the completionist instinct. I will master. Oh, yeah, yeah, baby. Stanley and the bucket, hooray. Stanley and the bucket, yes, they are back. Hip hip hooray. No more narrator who's giving me random shit and crap about my bucket buddy. My bucket is only for me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Bum ba da da bum 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 ba da da dum. Okay, I know you might find my singing annoying, but hey, it's way too quiet now, 'cause there's no music or no narrator. So I'm just gonna sing about how I owned the narrator. With Stanley and the bucket, oh yes, hip hip hooray. Bum ba da dum bum bum. Okay, I'm done. Ooh, escape pod. Goodbye, my buckets. I know we've been through much, but this is the part where we have to say goodbye. I'm sorry, my precious, but the narrator's literally going insane because of you. I even had to act along with it. My precious. My beautiful precious. My precious buckets. Go! Go where the people need you and save humanity or no manity or whatever race there is. Go and save them all. Goodbye, Bucket. I will miss you, Bucket.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started. And if it did, it stopped
Hey,
shortly
where's
after.
the bucket?
Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Where is the bucket? I've literally done every ending, so...
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Okay.
this was not the correct way
I
to the
know.
meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I know.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to
Ba, ba,
business,
ba, ba, ba,
Stanley
ba,
took
ba,
the
ba, ba,
first
ba,
open
ba.
door on his left.
I need my bucket, okay? I need my bucket. Whoa.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he
Damn
wasn't
all
5
these
years ago.
beautiful buckets. They only gonna do your dirt. They make you suicidal.
Oh, well, look who's got cold
Suicidal
feet.
when
Sorry
they
to break
say
it to you,
it's
Stanley, but that lift isn't coming
over.
back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor
Okay.
below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet
You're
you
right.
can make
Bye.
it. Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy
I know,
of me.
right? You do know I did that on purpose, right? Yay, bucket is back. I knew it. I knew you wouldn't leave me alone.
And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
Hey, it was a very precious moment.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, sure. I think I remember what the first ending was now. Not that it matters, because this won't be the first ending anymore, but hey. I know what I did, so I'm going
Coming
to
to a
correct
staircase,
it.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Do 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 do.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct
Oh,
by
yeah.
sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all
No.
along? Was the bucket guiding
No.
him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Ooh, another Stamibo.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and
Oh, yeah.
Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
Oh yeah.
We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of
I
them.
know, right?
And now we have them all.
Well, technically,
You
I
can't go
started
back to when
with
you
the
had
first
no
one.
Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Nope. It's. I can tell if something is written or it's too dark. Oh well. Anyway, the first ending was the elevator one. Oh yeah. Stanley playing with the elevator. Yeah, it's Stanley
The
and
elevator
the
raced downward,
elevator.
plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will
Nope.
be fine.
Bye.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number
No,
3.
it was the number
I want to
8.
go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again.
The bucket said
Although
nothing.
I do wonder what happens if I press the button 3. I mean, I know what I did the first time around, even if it took a long while to remember it. So, yeah. What does happen when I press the button 3?
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life.
Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back
Nope,
in
I
the
went to
elevator.
the number 8. Eight. Oh yeah, I remember. It was such a good time. Do. Press a number 8.
Perhaps the
Press a
bucket
number
had missed
8.
something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3.
No, it was the
repeatedly.
number 8. Whee!
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to
Yes.
me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the
Yes,
happiness
I know, right?
feel.
He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Okay, let's go. Do.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you.
He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes. And
8.
the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the
I know, right? Stupid bucket. Doesn't know about the number 3. Speaking of, when does the Stanley Parable 3 come out?
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Do. Tell me about the number 3.
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in
Yes,
my heart.
I will show it to you,
He
Bucket.
decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over.
I will show you.
He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
Oh yeah, I'm holding a press conference again.
And marketed his
Did you-
press conference, building excitement
Okay,
around
nothing
it,
different.
developing
Okay.
and rehearsing it until it couldn't be refined
Oh,
a
yeah.
single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in
Oh,
his life.
to stage 3. Okay. 427 3.
This was
Okay,
it.
so there's something different
One
here.
last chance to win
Okay.
the bucket over. One opportunity
again,
to share a
free
true
again.
connection with a loved one.
The dude who came up with pizza. Okay. Do. Alright,
There was no one here.
I will tell you about the number 3.
Nobody had come to the press
What
conference
it
to
really
hear Stanley
means.
speak,
What
to
it
listen
really
him
means
talk
to
about
press
what
the
it
number
really
3 on the
means to
keypad.
press the number
What
3
it
on
really
the
means
keypad
to
over
press
and
the
over.
number 3 on the
He
keypad
was
over
unloved,
and over again. Presented by
uninteresting.
Stanley.
He was a failure.
3.
And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again
No,
take him seriously.
Bucket!
There would be no
No!
deeper understanding. The bucket
How?
merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that
No,
slowly, over many
Bucket.
years, the two of them grew more and more
I
distant.
hate you,
They
Bucket!
spoke less and less.
How dare
neither
you not
wishing to state
understand the number
obvious,
3?
That any sense of real respect between
We
them
are
had eroded
number
since that day at
3.
the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long
Stupid
conversations
Bucket.
about
I
passion
hate
and
you.
pursuit.
I
Only
hate
the silence
everything
that
about
consumed
you.
the space between friends.
Stupid Bucket.
And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth
out
and
of here,
comfort of true
stupid Bucket.
companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Stupid Bucket, I hate you. You ruined everything. Well, and that was the end of the recording for this part. So apparently there's a part 5 now. Heh, silly ain't it? Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye bye.